Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel, and welcome back to another old building in Charlotte that has a ghost story attached to it. I apologize right now, I'm not the greatest storyteller in the world, but I really enjoy learning about old buildings that have a historical significance, and it's always cool to have a little creepy campfire story to attach to the building. So today I'm going to show you an old fire department, and it apparently has a ghost that haunts it. I'm even going to show you where that person is buried. Let's go. The historical significance of this building is best understood within the context of the evolution of urban firefighting in the early 20th century. Like other emerging industrial and commercial cities, Charlotte had to find ways to prevent widespread destruction of its man-made environment by fires. The increased concentration of structures, many built with highly combustible materials and some soaring to unprecedented heights, jeopardized the viability of urban life and necessitated the development of more systematic means to combat conflagrations. This is the Charlotte Fire Station No. 4, which was designed and built by Charlotte architect C.C. Hook between the years 1925 and 1926. You may remember Mr. Hook as the architect that did the renovations on the Linwood Mansion when Mr. Duke purchased it and tripled its size to make room for his expanding business empire, thus turning it into the famous Duke Mansion. In the 1920s, fire stations were changing drastically from previous models because of the shift from horse-drawn vehicles to motorized engines. Mr. Hook designed most of the new stations around town with the new amenities to accommodate this change, such as cement floors rather than wooden floors, ample windows for ventilation, and the placement of kitchens in stations in order to support a two-platoon system of labor. Mr. Hook had the unique responsibility to blend these new fire stations into the suburban neighborhoods that they were serving, and he also had to make the stations safe, functional, and attractive. Charlotte's Fire Station No. 4 served as a firehouse from the time it was built until 1972, when it was replaced by a newer building that is still active and functioning today about 2 streets over on Church Street. The building itself has served several functions since closing its doors as a fire station, for a while as an art gallery and at another time as a firefighting museum. This station was deemed a historic landmark in 2007. It is currently owned by Mr. Roger Stacks, the president of the preferred parking service that you probably saw in my footage, which occupies the lot right next to the firehouse. In 2011, Mr. Stacks had plans to open a restaurant inside the station, which would have been known as C.C. Hook's Tap House, named after the famous architect that designed this building. Unfortunately, the tap house dream never materialized, and the lot has sat unused for sale ever since. And now for the ghost story. According to local lore, the ghost of firefighter Mr. Pruitt Black and the trademark smell of his cigar are said to still haunt this original fire station No. 4 today. Mr. Pruitt was 26 years old, an upstanding man in town, and he loved to smoke cigars. He kept his love of cigar smoking a secret, only smoking inside the firehouse when no one from society would ever see him smoking. He was also very athletic and played for the local firemen's baseball team. On the night of April 4th, 1934, Mr. Black, who was then a 6-year veteran of the fire department, heard the fire alarm sounding and reportedly rushed out of the station to answer the call. He was running towards the pole to slide down to the ground floor when he slipped, falling headfirst from the second floor. His skull was crushed and he died on impact inside the firehouse, and ever since his death there have been disconcerting events that have taken place here. Visitors have reported smelling Mr. Black's cigar smoke in and around the station, particularly around the pole. For the time when the station was used for digital art and media, employees reported that they frequently felt like they were being watched by someone inside the firehouse that they could never find. Several contractors working to renovate the firehouse in the 20th century actually quit their job because they reported they kept seeing a ghost watching them work. Whether any of that is true or not, there is a Mr. Pruitt L. Black buried in the Elmwood Cemetery, not too far from the gravesite of Mr. Lance Van Every. His obituary on findagrave.com says that he was a firefighter with the Charlotte Fire Department, and he died when he missed sliding down the pole from the top floor of Fire Station number 4. As far as the ghost story goes, I'll give it 3 out of 5 stars. I've worked in hospitals long enough to know that strange, creepy, unexplainable occurrences do tend to happen around the sites of emergency workers, so I can only imagine that a firehouse would be no different than a hospital. There were several homeless people living inside this firehouse on the day that I went to film it, and I wouldn't be surprised if the reports of feeling watched or seeing ghosts weren't perhaps just the vibes these former employees got, maybe because they truly were being watched. Also, it doesn't surprise me at all that a firehouse could possibly smell of smoke. Whether or not it was ever on fire itself, or if cigars were ever smoked inside this building, the firemen's uniforms alone would have brought the smell into the firehouse anyway. I think this is a fun story, and I'm glad to be able to share this historic firehouse on our channel. Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. I'm going to put out 5 ghost stories in the month of October. I hope that you enjoy each and every one of them, and I hope you enjoy seeing some historical old buildings located all over Charlotte. Alright guys, see you another day in another adventure. Bye everybody. Bonus footage from Editing Julie. After I filmed this video, I found a website and an Instagram that I think you would really like to check out if this is your kind of thing. If you like ghost stories and local lore, I'm going to put it right here on the screen. It's a website called spookyclt.com, or you can look them up on Instagram at spookyclt. It's a man and his wife who have documented pretty much any ghost story, creepy story, anything like that, including all the cool cemeteries around town. And they're really nice people. I actually shot them a message on Instagram and they responded almost right away. So I am really excited that I found this resource, and I'm going to be using it in all the ghost stories that we share this month. So I just wanted to give them a little plug. If you could go check them out, they're going to have way more cool stories, and they seem to be told in a much, much better fashion than I'm going to be able to tell them. So if you want to look for more ghost stories, go look for spookyclt.com.